Good afternoon, all. Today we had the session from 1 to 2, but it had to be shifted from 2 to 3 because I had the internal mock interview session in the college and it had to be done for the NCAA site visit. I thank you all for adjusting the time. So today our topic is connective tissue. So let us start. I hope all of you can hear me clearly. Okay, so let us start. When we talk about any tissue, as we already studied epithelium, now we are going to study connective tissue. When we talk about any tissue, first of all, we should know what is it, where do I get it in the body, and what is its function. If I understand the basic of any tissue, then I can correlate and I can apply it in the functional aspect. So at the end of the lecture, you all should be able to understand what is connective tissue and its origin, to understand the functions of connective tissue, to understand the features of connective tissue, and you will be able to describe different components of the connective tissue, and you will be able to classify connective tissue as we finish this topic. So let us first start connective tissue. Connective tissue, as you all know, tissue is a special type of collection of cells which has same type of origin and same function. So connective tissue is the most abundant and widely distributed tissue in the body. This is the pictorial presentation of the connective tissue, in which you can see different types of fibers, the yellow appearing or light green and pink, and different types of cells which are shown in the pictorial presentation in the blue. So when we come to the origin, let us talk about the origin of the connective tissue. All the connective tissue have the same embryonic origin from the mesoderm cells called as mesenchyme. I hope by this time you people know what is ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. These are the three germ layers. So here the connective tissue, it is originating from the mesoderm. See here in the figure, the blue appearing is the mesoderm. So connective tissue has its origin from the mesoderm. Meso means in between. Ecto, endo. Endo is inside, ecto is outside, and meso is the in between ectoderm and endoderm. So our connective tissue in the body is originating from the mesoderm. Functions of connective tissue. The basic function of the connective tissue is providing structural support to the body. That means connective tissue by its presence provide the support to the different types of structures in the body. It also serves as a medium for exchange of nutrients, exchange of fluid. All these are exchanged through connective tissue. It also acts in the defense and protection of the body by the different cellular components. We will study it further. There are different components of the connective tissue which help in the defense of the body by providing the first line of defense or second line of defense, by providing the defense cells. Third is the defense of the body against a different type of infections. Fourth, forming a site for storage of the fat. This is another major function. The connective tissue provides as site for storage of the fat, which is nothing but the energy in the form of fat. So these are the main basic four functions of connective tissue, that is support, exchange of act as an exchange medium, third is the defense and protection, and fourth is the storage of fat. Now general features of connective tissue, that means here we will study how is the connective tissue and what are the basic features of the connective tissue irrespective of the different types. Basically connective tissue, it consists of the three elements. First element is the different types of cell. Second element is ground substance, which is also called as matrix, and third is the extracellular fibers. See here on your left hand side, cell types. These all cells which I have mentioned here, macrophages, fibroblast, lymphocyte, fat cells, neutrophils, these all are the cellular components of the connective tissue. The first component, cells. The second component is the ground substance. This is the ground substance which I have shown here by the arrow. This is the ground substance. And the third component is the fibers, extracellular fibers. They are collagen fiber, elastic fibers, and reticular fibers. That means in the connective tissue, basically we have three components: the cells, the ground substance, and the fibers. Is it clear? Now we'll go in detail of each later on. First, the general feature. This was the basic component of the composition of the connective tissue. The second feature is it does not occur on free surface such as linings except for the joint cavities which are lined by the areolar connective tissue. See here, you can see this is the joint cavity. Okay. In the joint cavity, there is a synovial fluid which is surrounded by synovial membrane. Can you make out this very clearly? This is the fibrous capsule. Okay. So this is the only area where it is present in the form of lining. Otherwise, it is never present as lining. The third characteristic feature is, except for the cartilage, it has nerve supply. Here, this is the cartilage. So all other areas will have the nerve supply in the connective tissue. This is the third feature. The fourth, usually highly vascular except for the cartilage. Cartilage is avascular, and tendons which have small blood supply. That means, as we already studied epithelium, epithelium is also avascular, cartilage is also avascular. The blood supply or the exchange of fluid and nutrition supply to these tissue is through connective tissue. That is why connective tissue is highly vascular. Here you can see clearly, you can see the different fibers in the connective tissue, then large blood vessels and different types of cellular component like macrophages, adipocytes. Okay, we will study all this in detail, but this is the feature of connective tissue, that it is highly vascular. The next feature of the connective tissue, it consists of matrix which may be fluid, semi-fluid, gelatinous, fibrous or calcified. It is usually secreted by the connective tissue cells and the adjacent cells that determine the quality of the tissue. That means the connective tissue can be hard, it can be rubbery, or it can be fluid depending on the type of cell secreting the matrix. Okay, that means the fifth feature of connective tissue is it has the matrix which can be fluid, semi-fluid, gelatinous, fibrous or calcified. Am I clear? The sixth is cells can usually divide. That means the cells are continuously dividing. That means whenever there is need, these cells have the ability to divide. Is it clear? These are the 6 characteristic features of the connective tissue. Now we will study the components of the connective tissue. As roughly I told you, it consists of 3 components: the cellular component, the ground substance, then the extracellular matrix in the form of different fibers. So the first component is cells. The cells are further divided into 4 categories: immature cells, mature cells, fixed cells, and free cells. These are the 4 different types of cells which we are going to study under the cellular components of the connective tissue. Now the cells of the connective tissue, immature cells. The meaning of immature cells means they are in the dividing or reproducing stage. Here you can see immature cell names ending with blast. Here you can see lymphoblast. That means these are the immature cells. These cells can reproduce and form the matrix. This is the photograph showing you the lymphoblast. Blast means the last ending word is BLAST, that is blast. This is an immature cell. If we talk about the mature cells, the last is CYTE, the lymphocyte. That means both the cells are having the different ending. The blast means this is an immature lymphoblast, immature cell. Lymphocyte means this is a mature cell of the lymphoid series. These cells have reduced ability to divide and form the matrix. That means blast cells, that is immature cells, they will have more ability to divide and form matrix, whereas lymphocytes, they will have comparatively less ability to divide and form the matrix. That means more active cells are blast cells, that is immature cells, and comparatively inactive cells are, yes, the site cells, that is mature cells. Now, the third category is SPECT cells. That means these cells appear in the connective tissue in a stable number. That means they are present in the connective tissue and they always remain stable in numbers in the connective tissue. Wandering cells, also called as free cells, they are found in the connective tissue in response to the infection or injury. That means they are not always present in the fixed number. Whenever there is an infection or there is injury, they come as a line of defense in the connective tissue. Is it clear? That means 4 types of cells: immature cells, mature cells, fixed cells, and wandering cells. These are the 4 types of cells present in the connective tissue. Now the cellular component in detail. The cells in the connective tissue are grouped in 2 categories: fixed cells and transient. Transient means they will appear and they will go. That is wandering cells. First is fixed cells. These are the resident population of the cells that have developed and remain in the place within the connective tissue where they perform their function. The fixed cells are stable and long-lived population, and it includes fibroblasts, adipose cells, pericytes, mast cells, macrophages. You can see the picture very clearly here. I have put the maximum picture so that you can understand. The first pictorial presentation is fibroblast. You can see this cellular cytoplasmic processes. This is a fibroblast. The second one is adipose cell. This is a fat cell. This is a fat. The yellow appearing is a fat globule. It will be dissolved at the time of slide preparation. And when you see the histological slide in hematoxylin and eosin state, this yellow fat is gone and this area will appear empty. Okay. The next cell is pericyte. Here you can see clearly it is a star-shaped cell having a different type of different cytoplasmic processes. Next is the mast cells, and this is the bilobed macrophage. You can see clearly bilobed nucleus. Okay. These all 5 cells, they come under the category of fixed cells. Now the second category of the cell, that is transient cells, also called as free cells or wandering cells, depending on their origin and as they appear in the body when the need arises. So the transient cells, they originate mainly in the bone marrow and circulate in the bloodstream. Upon receiving the proper stimulus or signal, these cells leave the bloodstream and migrate into the connective tissue to function specifically. The transient cells include the first picture, that is plasma cells, second lymphocytes. I have numbered these from 1 to 7 and it corresponds to the same cell numbered here. First is plasma cell, then lymphocytes, neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, monocytes, and macrophages. These are the 7 cells which are considered under the category of the transient cells. We will study these cells in detail during the laboratory session. Now coming to the different fibers of the connective tissue, there are 3 basic types of fibers present in the connective tissue, that is collagen fiber, elastic fibers, and reticular fiber. First is collagen fiber. See, collagen fiber, this picture, this is the pictorial, the first one is the pictorial presentation of the collagen fiber. Here the pink appearing are the collagen fibers. This is the hematoxylin and eosin stain section. Here also the dark magenta appearing. These going in different direction. This is the representation of the collagen fibers. Collagen fibers are composed of protein called as collagen, and collagen fibers are tough and only slightly elastic. They often occur in bundles with the fibers parallel to one another. Here you can see clearly they are in bundles, not single fiber. They are in bundles and occurring parallel to one another, which give great tensile strength. That is why they are having more tensile strength. The collagen fiber is found in most connective tissues, especially bone, tendons, and ligaments. So the major component of bone, tendon, and ligament is the connective tissue composed of collagen fibers. The next fiber is the elastic fiber. As the name suggests, there will be elasticity. That means they will provide the stretchability. Okay, as the name suggests, here the first is the photomicrograph of the elastic fiber and second is the pictorial presentation. Here in the pictorial presentation you can see clearly the dark pink appearing are the broad and thick bands in the bundles. Parallel to each other are the collagen fibers. The thin appearing which are anastomosing with each other, that is connected with each other, are the elastic fiber, and in between these are the cells, they are the fibroblasts. The elastic fibers are composed of protein called as elastin and glycoprotein. They are very stretchy and branch and join to form the network. Here in the second picture you can see they are joining to each other to form the network. They provide the strength to the tissue but allows the tissue to be flexible so that the tissue can flex on itself. Flexibility to the tissue is provided by the elastic fiber. That is why they are found in the skin, blood vessels, and lungs. The first picture, can you see clearly? Here, the thin appearing, dark blue appearing are the elastic fibers, whereas the pink appearing bundles are the collagen fiber. I think it's clear. The flexibility is provided by the elastic fiber and they are located in the skin, blood vessels, and lungs. The next fiber is reticular type of fiber. The reticular fibers are composed of collagen and glycoprotein. They provide the support and form the loose network of the fibrous tissue. Here, this you can see clearly in the first pictorial presentation. These are the arrows are indicating the loose reticular fiber. They are found around the fat cells. The yellow appearing, they are the fat cells, nerve fibers, skeletal and smooth muscle cells, and the basement membrane. They also form the stroma or the supporting framework of many soft tissue. They are also located in the non-muscular organs such as spleen and lymph nodes. Non-muscular means there will not be any muscle. That is the non-muscular organs like spleen and lymph nodes. That means basically these fibers have the function of providing support and they form the loose network. That is why they are located in the spleen and lymph node and also the basement membrane. Where do we have the basement membrane? In between the epithelium and connective tissue. Now, so we have seen three types of fiber. First was the collagen fiber, second was the elastic fiber, and third is the reticular fiber. These are the three fibers present in the connective tissue. Before that, we saw the cellular component of the connective tissue, that is mature cell, immature cells, transient cells, and resilient cells. Okay. Coming on to ground substance of the connective tissue. See here, the ground substance contains hyaluronic acid and chondroitin sulfate and keratin sulfate. These are the three different types of protein and acids which are present in the ground substance. That is hyaluronic acid, chondroitin sulfate, and keratin sulfate. These are the three components present in the ground substance. Here, the ground substance supports and binds the cells together and provide the medium for exchange of material. We saw one of the major function of connective tissue was to provide the exchange of material. How it is possible? It is possible through different types of ground substance. The ground substance like hyaluronic acid, chondroitin sulfate, these are the materials which will help in the exchange between the epithelium and connective tissue and within the connective tissue. So the components of connective tissue are clear. Now we are going to study the classification of connective tissue. The connective tissue is divided in three categories. First is embryonic connective tissue. It is mesenchymal connective tissue and mucous connective tissue. Second type is connective tissue proper. In that it is divided into loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue, dense irregular connective tissue, dense regular connective tissue, which is again further divided into collagenous and elastic, then reticular connective tissue and adipose connective tissue. The second classification is basically on the arrangement and major component. Like loose connective tissue, it will be loosely arranged. Dense connective tissue, it will be densely arranged. When we talk about dense, regular, collagenous connective tissue, that means the component collagen fiber will be more in this. When we talk about dense, regular, elastic connective tissue, there will be more component or more proportion of the elastic fibers. Am I clear? In adipose tissue, you will have the fat cells. Then specialized connective tissue that can be cartilage, bone or blood. These will be covered, these three will be covered, cartilage, bone and blood in the separate topics. Cartilage, bone and blood. Embryonic connective tissue. The mesenchymal connective tissue is present only in the embryo and consists of mesenchymal cells in a gel-like or amorphous ground substance containing scattered reticular fibers. Here, the mesenchymal connective tissue, it is only present in the embryo. First picture is showing the picture of the embryo and the second picture is showing the photomicrograph of the embryonic connective tissue. Here you can see the light appearing are the mesenchymal cells. The empty appearing area is the ground substance and very thin appearing are the fibers because it is in the developing stage. The embryo is still in the developing stage, so as the tissue is also immature and you can see it very light staining and very early stage budding. That is why here the mesenchymal cells are immature. You can see clearly the ground substance is very light and fibers are also very thin. As the age advances and as the maturity increases, it will pick up more dye and stain dark. So this is the embryonical connective tissue. The second is connective tissue proper. It is loosely arranged. It is found wrapping around the organs under the skin and holds and conveys fluids. That means the basic functions of connective tissue are served because of presence of different types of components in the connective tissue. Here, if you see the pictorial presentation, you can see here there is blood supply. These large blood vessels are present. I hope you can see it clearly. The arrow first here showing capillaries. The yellow appearing are the fat cells. Then here different fibers. They are these elastic fibers. The branching are the elastic fiber. Then you can see different types of cells. The star-shaped or the with the cytoplasmic processes are the major component of the cell that of the tissue, that is the fibroblast. We will study these in detail. It contains primarily fibroblast. See here, the black arrow is showing this is the fibroblast. The macrophages, you can see the macrophages here. This is the macrophage. Then adipocytes, these are the fat cells or adipocytes, the fat globule and the blood cells. All other are the blood cells. It also contains three fibers randomly arranged, that is elastic fiber, reticular fiber and the collagen fiber. This is basically a pictorial presentation of the loosely arranged connective tissue showing different components of the connective tissue. See here again, We saw three basic components of the connective tissue: extracellular matrix, the fibers, and the cells. So these resident cells of the connective tissue, that is mesenchymal cells, macrophages, adipocytes, and fibroblasts. Three types of fibers, that is elastic fiber, collagen fiber, and reticular fiber. And this is the complete ground substance here. See, this is the ground substance, and this is the blood vessel. This is the photograph showing the arrangement of the connective tissue with different components. Next is the loose areolar connective tissue. The ground substance is fluid, semi-fluid, or gelatinous. This tissue contains hyaluronic acid, which is thick and may slow the passage of some drugs. Hyaluronidase is an enzyme produced by WBCs, that is white blood cell corpuscles, sperms, and some kind of bacteria. Injection of hyaluronidase can speed the passage of drugs and through the tissue. See here, the first photomicrograph is showing you the elastic fiber, collagen fibers, and fibroblast. This is the loose connective tissue. You can see clearly the arrangement. Again, the ground substance, fibroblast, elastic fibers, and collagen fiber in the photomicrograph shown on the right hand side of your screen. This is clear, the arrangement of different substance and fibers. The third is dense connective tissue. Again, the classification is on the basis of arrangement of the fibers. In case of dense irregular connective tissue, it has collagen fibers and fibroblasts, but the collagen fibers are arranged irregularly. See here, the collagen fibers are arranged in the first pictorial presentation. They are arranged irregularly, and these are the fibroblast cells. This tissue usually forms the sheath and resists the pulling in many directions. This is the function of irregular dense connective tissue. It is found, the location, it is found in the heart walls, around the cartilage, bone, muscle, and dermis of the skin, and around some organs. This is the photomicrograph, again showing the irregular arrangement of collagen fibers, and these are the blue appearing are the fibroblast cells. This is the pictorial presentation of dense irregular connective tissue. This is the photomicrograph of dense irregular connective tissue. Next is dense regular connective tissue. As the names are on the basis of arrangement of collagen fiber, the collagen fibers here, the collagen fibers are arranged in parallel bundles, which make this tissue more flexible but resistant to the stretching. Here, can you see in the first photomicrograph, they are the parallel bundles of collagen fibers, and the blue pairing are the fibroblasts. The second picture, you can see clearly the dense arrangement of the collagen fiber bundles. The fibroblasts are found in the rows between the fibers, as you can see here in the first picture, and this type of dense connective tissue is found in the tendons and ligaments, and because of this dense arrangement of collagen fibers, the blood supply is poor to this tissue. Is it clear? The next is dense connective tissue but elastic. So it consists of elastic fibers and fibroblasts. Before this we saw dense regular collagen connective tissue. Now this is dense regular elastic connective tissue. There the collagen fiber was more in amount. Here the elastic fibers are more in amount. It is found, it consists of the elastic fibers and fibroblasts. The black appearing are the elastic fibers. It is very elastic and it is found in the lung, walls of arteries, bronchial tubes, and also in the attachments between the vertebrae. These are the locations of this elastic regular connective tissue. The last is, or the third type of fiber, reticular connective tissue. It consists of reticular fibers and fibroblasts and forms the supporting framework for the cells in the liver, spleen, lymph nodes, and bone marrow. Here the black appearing you can see is the reticular fiber, which is present in the form of a framework or a network. That is why it provides the support. So three types: regular, collagen connective tissue, regular elastic connective tissue, regular reticular connective tissue, depending on the type of fiber present in large amount in that particular type of tissue. Adipose connective tissue, as the name suggests, here we will have more amount of adipose tissue. Adipose cells are nothing but, or adipocytes are nothing but the fat cells. See here in the first pictorial presentation, these are the fat cells, the yellow appearing. The cells are adipocytes and specialize in storing the fat. The adipocytes are tightly packed and with very little matrix. They accumulate under the skin and yellow marrow of the long bones. The main function of adipocytes or the adipose connective tissue is to serve to function in the energy reserve, insulation, protection and support. That means, because of presence of this adipose tissue, there is insulation, there is protection of the body. As you find it below the skin, if something hit you, it acts as a insulator or the shock absorber. That is the function of adipose connective tissue. In the second picture or the photomicrograph, here you see this is the cell membrane, the black appearing outside, and this is the nucleus, the arrow is showing, and here the cell is appearing clear because at the time of hematoxylin and eosin staining, when we do the processing, we dip the slide in the different types of chemicals, and these fat cells are soluble in the organic solvents. So when you dip the slide, this fat molecule is dissolved, and that is why the cell appears empty and clear. So this is all about the connective tissue. I hope you understood the topic. If you have any queries, you can ask me during the lab session or anytime whenever you need. Thank you.